Welcome to another Mehera-Meher reading, recording, chapter 127, titled Tears Over Fasting. Before the second accident, Baba had always washed his face alone in the bathroom at Meherazad. Mehera poured water over his hands to wash away the soap, and then he took the mug and washed his face himself. He shaved there also before coming to the dining room for breakfast. After the second accident, however, Baba's morning ablutions underwent a change. Holding Mehera's hand, Baba now walked slowly from his bedroom directly to the dining room, and the other women followed. Before the second accident, Baba had always seated himself. Now Goher and Rano pulled out his chair for him to take his place at the dining table. Baba, still clutching Mehera's arm, grasped the edge of the dining table, shifting his weight to the table as his hip could not bear the weight comfortably, and the chair was pushed firmly under him and scooted up to the table. The sidebar says Baba sat at the head of the dining table, Mehera to Baba's right, and Mani on his left. From 1958, Baba stopped using a safety razor to shave and began using an electric shaver presented to him by Harry Kenmore. Since there was no electricity at Meherazad, Harry sent a rechargeable shaver. Seated at the dining table, Baba asked Mehera to hand him the shaver and remarked, "This electric one is very good. I like it because you don't have to put all that cold soap and water on your face, especially in wintertime. See how clever people are to invent such a thing." Baba was very pleased with Harry's gift. And the sidebar says, actually, there were two shavers. Baba used one for 4 or 5 days, while the other was being recharged in Ahmednagar at Kushru quarters. Back to the text. Mehera brought the shaver from his dresser, and Baba switched it on and shaved himself. Baba couldn't move around freely because of his hip joint, Mehera explained. It was not convenient for him to get up and sit down, so he shaved, seated at the table. Mehera enjoyed watching Baba shave. He looked very sweet as he adjusted his face. He felt his face, then perhaps did some more, if there were a little left. He wanted it completely smooth. When using the safety razor, Baba put soap on his face himself to shave. He didn't like to, but he had to do it. The electric razor came in time because after the second accident, Baba felt too tired to apply soap. Baba lovers used to send him aftershave lotion, but he didn't use it much, as he washed his face with warm water and soap after shaving. He used the aftershave 2 or 3 times, then discontinued, as he had sensitive skin. He never liked anything greasy on his face. He never applied any oil, cream, or lotion to preserve his skin. Yet his skin was always smooth. Baba's skin quality was quite unique. Smooth, pink, a beautiful texture. After shaving, Mehera brushed his hair and clipped his fingernails, if needed. Baba had convened a special meeting of his Indian lovers at Meherabad. For 10 July 1958, he began visiting Meherabad daily to oversee preparations. Once he took the women with him. Mani wrote to Irene. Mikal Namo, would you unmute and continue reading?
Yes, I would like to. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, for 10 July 1958, he began visiting Meherabad daily to oversee preparations. Once he took the woman with him, Mani wrote to Irene. On 5th July, we visited Meherabad after a very long time. Mansari had a pure white dog named Moti in memory of the peacock. It's a good watchdog, but greeted Baba by jumping on him, licking him like a saucer of cream. The other day, we saw the 1956 Sahavas film taken by Chairman Deuce that Baba brought with him. We had a private showing at the Nagar Cinema, and it was also shown to Baba lovers in Bombay and Pune. It was really lovely and made us so nostalgic for the center where we had been and for our Nilu, but most of all for the days when beloved Baba used to walk about so fast. In the picture, we see some of the others running to keep up with Baba.
So let me just interject. That name Charmian, is that how it's pronounced? Charmian?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So if I have to pronounce it differently, please correct me.
That's
Yeah,
how I've always heard it pronounced.
Oh, good. Thanks. Because some people
Charmian?
read it as Charmaine and
So it's Charmian.
Charmian. Yeah.
Okay. So
Thank you, Deb.
Yeah. At the Meherabad meeting, Baba announced that he would be going into seclusion for 6 months to complete his final work, and none was to contact or even write to him. What about the side note? Meher Baba's universal message was given out at this meeting. At Meherazad, Baba worked in seclusion with Kaikubad and Nilkanswala Mast in the former garage, later Baoji's room. He was also able to come to Mandali Hall using canes, but at times he was brought in a lift chair. In general, his health was poor during this period, with bouts of fever, a cough, and a cold. In this diminished state, Baba announced that he intended to fast from mid-October until the end of November. Hearing this, Pukar, a Hamirpur Baba lover who was staying at Meherazad for a few months, wrote in his diary, "The Mandali were horrified. On the mere mention of Baba fasting, Goher shed tears." On 9 October, inside Mandali Hall, Goher pleaded tearfully with Baba to change his mind. "Your weeping does not help me in my work," Baba told her, annoyed. I lost my place. "I want you to help me by remaining happy. I will fast, and none should say anything against it. You are sensible, so you should not weep. When you start weeping, everyone inside Mera starts weeping. Therefore, to help me in my work, you must remain cheerful." Baba informed the Mandali that the previous day Mera had wept so much over this issue that he had to remain with her and console her, and hence had been unable to return to them in the afternoon. The fasting news had made everyone tense, wrote Pukar. The women's group of his mandali was trying its best to stop him from undergoing the fast. The ladies were weeping before Baba, requesting him to cancel the fast. Baba seemed determined to go ahead despite their tears and entreaties. On the 14th, Baba told the mandali, "All of you object to my fasting and quarrel on that point. Mehera and Mani have taken 2 hours on that subject. So now I have found a solution. The fast will be observed, but it will commence 2 days from today instead of from today. This fast will be for 21 days, and thereafter, if the body has enough strength, it will continue till the end of November. During the fast, I will take 2 cups of tea at 2 different times, 3 bananas, and 3 cups of vegetable soup." "That's not enough," Gori interrupted. Baba stopped her. "Up until now, I have long discussions with you all on this topic. So now, don't bring the subject up again." Absolute silence was to be maintained when Baba retired to his room from 3 p.m. till the morning of the following day, and for the 2 hours every morning when Baba would be working with Nilkanswala mast. Even the water tap on the mandali side could not be turned on, as this disturbed Baba, he said. Ensuring silence was specifically difficult for Kakabaria, who had 3 dogs to look after. The side note says, Gore had her reasons for being concerned. One main complaint Baba had throughout the years was heartburn. Over the years, Baba had been through so many long and severe fasts, and such an irregular diet during his travels and you have to scroll up during his travels and mass work that I was afraid of the peptic ulcer developing. Baba would refuse any investigation or checkup. We felt so helpless because we knew Baba was suffering this constant pain and uneasiness in his stomach, but Baba would make his complaint so light and make us forget he had any pain. So we were back as where it was hard for Kaka because of the dogs to keep silent. 2 years earlier, Bhuti had 3
Oh,
puppies.
oh, okay. Thank you. Sorry. You're right. You're right. I'm mistaken. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll read the line before. So Baba is talking about not even water. So even the water tap on the mandali side could not be turned on, as this disturbed Baba, he said. Ensuring silence was especially difficult for Kakabaria, who had 3 dogs to look after. 2 years earlier, Bhuti had 3 puppies, Mastan, Leo, and Jolly. Mastan was kept on the woman's side, while Leo and Jolly stayed with Kaka and Bhuti. During Baba's seclusion work, Kaka kept the 3 dogs in his room on his bed, muffling their muzzles with his hands when they barked. Baba knew that Kaka loved the dogs so much that he would not want to part with them. So Baba created a situation whereby Kaka himself decided to get rid of them. Every day, Baba sent Bao to Kaka with a message that the dogs were disturbing him. When Baba came to the hall, he complained on and on about how troubled and disturbed he was because of the dogs. "I am the Lord of the universe," he stated, "but I am harassed like this by barking dogs. What can I do?" Kaka would not respond, but tried harder to keep the dogs quiet in his room. It continued like this until Kaka himself became fed up and decided it was time for the puppies to go. When Padri came to Merazad for some work, Baba asked him, "Do you have a dog at Mehrabad?" Padri said that he did have one. "Do you want another one? If so, you must promise to look after this dog as if it were your own son. Do you agree? Feed it and love it as if it were your own child? Padre agreed and took Leo, and Kaka was happy. And whenever Baba went to Meherabad, he took Kaka along, just so he could see the dog and make sure it was all right. So, side note, Leo was killed by wild dogs Sikra April 1965. The other pup was given to Erich's cousin Kavas Damania at Akbar Press. From 17 October, Baba began fasting on liquids. Even so, the woman urged him to take something more nourishing, at least once a day. Goher brought a tray into the hall with a banana and tea or a cup of milk, though Baba disliked milk. But Baba distributed most of it to the mandali after Goher left. Bahu, the night watchman, reported to the mandali that most nights Baba did not sleep. At times, Baba said he felt weak and dizzy. His hands actually trembled and his feet swelled. I am awfully sick, he admitted to the mandali. You cannot imagine it. You do not know what I face. Pointing to his hip one day, Baba told the men, it was completely smashed. This is crucifixion and it continues. You cannot know how my inner work goes on. And then there is so much of the outer work. I have to look to the management of Merazad. And then there are the many families that are to be provided for. Acceptance of donations is also stopped. Now it is to be seen what arrangements can be made. So, okay, so someone else go on if it's possible.
Deb. Oh, thanks a lot, Mikal. Nice
Thank
reading.
you. Thank you. I learned to stop at the point like you told me.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, it gives me a chance
Oh, thank you.
to
Thank
to
you.
to digest what you've just said. Yeah, my
Yeah.
brain is, it takes its time. Thank you.
So thank you for this.
Yeah, thank you. You're welcome.
So, am I on here?
Yes,
Yes? Okay. Baba broke his fast at the beginning of November, but he was still not feeling well. Although the atmosphere at Merazad remained tense and worry-filled because of his poor health, at sunset on 11 November, in honor of Diwali, Baba came on the veranda of the main house, and sparklers and firecrackers were lit. Small decorative oil lamps had been placed around the house, and Baba and Mehera admired them as their tiny flames danced and flickered in the growing darkness. When Baba was feeling better, one day Mehera brought Phyllis's movie camera and tried to take some shots of him. She asked Baba to be in the garden.
Do you have a
Baba,
sidebar, by the way, Deb?
I have none, but I'll read the screen here. But the women partially fasted during the final 3 days of Baba's fast.
Mhm. Okay.
Um, she asked Baba to be in the garden. Baba could walk without someone's aid, slowly limping, Mehera clarified. I told him if he could be with Mustan in the garden, it would be nice. He didn't mind. He put his hand out to Mustan. I started taking his film, not knowing how to adjust the camera. Baba was lovingly playing with Mustan, and I shot a few minutes. But the film was overexposed. It came out too light. After this, I never thought of filming Baba again. Mustan looked just like his mother, Booty, jet black with little white socks, a thick coat, and like a husky, and a smallish tail with 3 tiny white hairs at the tip. Mer- uh, Peter, Mani's cocker spaniel, and Mustan were friends and played together when young, even though At 1 year, Mustang was already bigger than Peter. Peter often chased and caught rats. Mustang watched but was not interested. One day the women were in the garden with 2 dogs when Booty was brought on a chain. Booty ran to Mustang and started playing with him. Since Booty was always kept on the Mondley side, Peter thought she was an outside dog. Peter was very brave and went to Booty to defend Mustang against her.
Peter's a Cocker Spaniel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a story in the book Mehera, I don't know whether it's in this book or not, about how Peter and Mustang would play together when Mustang was a puppy. And then Mustang started growing so fast, and Peter would look at him like, oh, I don't know if I want to play with you. And then Peter would bring Mustang to a certain small carpet, and he'd say, okay, we can play here, but that's, you have to, you have to be careful with me. It's fun. It's a funny story. Okay.
And Mustang, the name, just to remind people, has the same root as must, the intoxicated, the god intoxicated. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a very special dog. Baba was using his bedroom upstairs. Because of the Mondley's use of the outer staircase to his room, the women had to keep their front door shut most of the time so that Mehera would remain unseen. The door of Mondley Hall also used to remain shut, Goher said, because of Mehera not being free to walk in the garden. Our hall front door, too, was always shut, as the Mondley were coming and going up and down the stairs to Baba's room. Once when Baba retired, Mehera wouldn't come out in the garden, but would go to the back as the Mondley would be coming. She would never be on the veranda. If she had some work there, she told me, and I kept watch, held back the Mondley till Mehera finished her work. She didn't see any Mondley, nor did they ever see her. When the Mondley left in the morning, we were all ready. The Mondley rang a bell when they left. Baba himself came down. Otherwise, after the second accident, Mehera went up first. Baba wanted to see Mehera first in the morning and last in the evening. We would wait, and after she had embraced Baba, then we all went up. One morning, however, something unforeseen occurred after Bao's night watch. The normal routine was that Bao came down the steps after doing night watch and went to his room. Goher informed Mehera, who would then go upstairs. One morning, Bao opened the door to Baba's room and was about to leave when Baba asked him to massage his legs some more. Goher thought Bao had already left and informed Mehera, who went upstairs. When she saw Bao near Baba, she ran, literally, out of the room. Bao was shocked, but Baba said, "Don't worry," and after a few minutes, he told Bao to leave. Goher was also afraid of the consequences, as it was her mistake, but Baba did not scold her. Baba's continued use of the upstairs bedroom, however, distressed the women, as it was quite difficult for Baba to go up and down the stairs twice a day. A special metal railing was temporarily installed for him to grasp while descending. Even so, when Baba could put some weight on his leg, each step made him wince in pain, and he had to stop part way to rest. After some time, he began to be carried to his room by the garden boys in a chair, but the situation was precarious, and the women fretted there would be a mishap. In addition, it was now winter and cold winds blew, while Baba slowly made his way up and down the stairs. Mehera pleaded, "Why like this, Baba? It is so difficult for you. You can use the room downstairs." The girls will stay in the other house. Use this room, please. Mehera thought of another reason. The downstairs room will be more convenient for the Mondali too, as it has an outside door that they can use while coming and going. Goher and Mani both begged Baba to change rooms. After months of persuasion, one day in mid-December 1958, Baba relented. Baba had tea that day, shaved, washed his face, and went to the Mandali as usual. The women brought his bedding downstairs, and Goher called the garden boys, who, under Kaka's supervision, dismantled and brought down Baba's bed, all the furniture and many other things, kettles, wash basins, and so on from his room.
You want to
There are
read the,
sidebars, two sidebars.
I got them. In the upstairs bedroom today is kept Baba's and Mehera's mattresses from Guru Prasad. The adjoining room upstairs was always used as a storage room and contains Baba's trunks.
and we have another one
Yeah, I got it.
above that,
Oh,
above it actually. Yeah.
okay.
Do you see it?
Yeah.
In addition,
In addition, upon Baba's return from the West in June 1958, masons were hired to lessen the steepness of the staircase steps so that Baba might climb them more easily.
interesting.
It's a big job.
Guess it's a stone staircase.
I guess so. Whoops, dear.
Another sidebar there and some more paragraphs. Although Goher began, I'll read that one in a minute. It's not appropriate yet, I guess.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
wanted to do everything quickly before Baba could change his mind, Mehera explained. Mehru, Goher, and Naja had been occupying the lower bedroom. Mehru, did I say Mehra? Mehru, Goher, and Naja had been occupying the lower bedroom. Goher's bed was now moved to the passageway of the main house, just outside the downstairs bedroom. Mehru's and Naja's beds were shifted to the small cottage opposite the main house. And the sidebar is, although Goher began sleeping in the passageway, whenever she had a headache or occasionally during the daytime when there was too much noise, she slept on Naja's bed in the cottage. When Baba came from the Mandali, the women were excited about giving him a surprise. Holding his hand, Mehera led him inside. Baba, this is your new bedroom, she explained. Baba looked around and gestured. Very nice. Do you like it? She asked, feeling proud. Yes, I do, and Mehera was pleased. As it turned out, the downstairs bedroom was more convenient for the women also. For example, previously when Mehera and the others cleaned Baba's bedroom upstairs in the morning, if they forgot something, they had to rush downstairs for it. Then there was Baba's dinner. For 2 or 3 years after the second accident, Baba had lunch seated on the living room couch. Mehera placed a tablecloth on the light metal tray table near the couch and served Baba there, bringing his food on a TV tray. Dinner, however, was a different matter. He had dinner between 4:30 and 5 p.m. upstairs in his room. Do you want me to keep reading for a little while, or does someone else want to go?
How about that sidebar about the downstairs bedroom?
Okay.
Do you see it?
Yes. The downstairs bedroom was already painted pink when Baba moved into it. According to researchers at the Institute of Biosocial Research, Tacoma, Washington, the color pink rapidly saps anger and aggression. Pink is found to have a soothing effect on people, according to another study. Periods over 15 minutes in a pink room are accompanied by a decline in white blood cell count. Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, very nice.
Has I don't see Eva and Marvin. I just thought they might like to read, but they're not here anymore, are they?
Mikal, yeah, they're not. But Mikal, do you want to take another shot at it
Yeah,
while you're what
yeah,
time is it in Jerusalem now?
10:30.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I would like to read. Yeah. Where are
go.
we? The women gladly would have put up with all this.
I think
Is
the
that
paragraph above that.
Yeah.
okay? After the accident, said Goher, Baba led a more sedentary life. What is sedentary?
Uh, It, kind of still, not moving much. Um,
Okay.
what a lot of old people, what happens to a lot of old people, they just sit on a couch potato is a good way of
Oh,
putting it.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. So Baba led a more sedentary life. Food had not been taken upstairs before. Only after the second accident did he eat there. The women carried the food to him, but they had to run downstairs constantly if anything, such as a salt shaker, was forgotten. Warm water for washing his hands also had to be brought upstairs. The women gladly would have put up with all this, however, if Baba had been walking freely as before. It was the sight of their beloved in so much pain every day, as he gingerly negotiated the stairs, which emboldened them to continue to plead with him every now and then until Baba agreed finally to change rooms. After his fasting and seclusion work, Baba wished to stay in Pune for 1 month. He left Guru Prasad on 15 December with the women and some of the men. So there is a side note for that. Khorshid stayed with the women at Guru Prasad, and her mother Sunamasi came for 3 days on 16 January. Meru was sent to Bombay from Pune for an operation. She stayed there for a month and then returned to Meherazad by train, as per Baba's instructions. So, well, no, I don't see the asterisks. Oh, yeah. So, a small darshan program was held at Guru Prasad on 24th in honor of Mera's birthday, which about 50 close lovers from Bombay and Pune attended. The function took place in a large living room, and a carpet covered the entire floor. All the furniture, 3 sofas, each large enough to accommodate 6 persons, had been moved against the wall for the program. Baba was seated in a chair in the corner. Godavari Mai came the same day with a few kanyas, Brahmin nuns. Baba asked how she was, and Godavari mentioned some eye trouble she was experiencing. Baba advised her not to read, to rest her eyes, and to go to Mabaleshwar, where it was cooler. Mehera and the other women Mandali were in the dining room, watching the proceedings from behind a curtain. Godavari is a very sweet lady, Mehera said. She always wore white saris. I saw her bow to Baba. She was given a chair to sit on. The other girls sat on the floor. This was the second and final time Mehera saw Godavari Mai. Baba returned to Meherazad on 20th January 1959. Although he issued instructions that his birthday that year not be celebrated at Meherazad, he did allow Mehera to read aloud his birthday cards. Irene Bilow's card was placed on Baba's breakfast table with the others on 5th February, and Baba asked Mehera to read what was on the back. Baba went to Meherabad that day also. The women accompanied him to Meherabad on another occasion also. Baba instructed them to remove whatever clothes they required from the cupboards in the East Room and take everything back to Meherazad, which was an indication to them that they would never be returning to live at Meherabad. Harry dead old show. A sailor in the Merchant Marine had heard of Meher Baba in 1955 and became a Sufi under Ivy Deuce. His ship often docked in Calcutta, and in March, Harry sent Mehera a package of seeds for her garden. Addie Sr. acknowledged the gift. Mehera received the beautiful photo of Baba sent by you, possibly one which had been taken of Baba in America, which she liked very much. She also got the illustrated book on horticulture and was delighted to have them. The seeds are really unnecessary. We get seeds in abundance in India. Baba appreciated your having taken the trouble of buying and sending the books on flowers and plants. Dear Harry, it is very rare that Mehera is permitted to receive any gifts from anyone, much less to correspond with anyone. In your case, in the instance of these books, Baba made an exception, but dear Harry, you will kindly remember that no gifts should in future be sent to Mehera. Baba drove to Bombay with Mehera, Mani and Gohar in Meherji's car on 7 March, where they stayed at Ashiana for a week before their usual summer stay at Guru Prasad. And the side note says, since Meru had recently undergone surgery, Baba instructed her to remain at Merazad with Naja and Rano, where she could recuperate fully before joining. Can you scroll up, please? For joining him in Pune. Meru, Ranu, and Naja arrived in Pune a few days before Baba's and Mera's group to ensure that everything was ready. So, this was Meher Baba's 9th and final visit to Dada Chanji's apartment. This was Meher Baba's 9th and final visit to Dada Chanji's apartment, and also his last visit to Bombay. Wow, 1959, right? Baba agreed to give darshan during his stay, and many came to the apartment to see him. Whenever they were in Bombay, Baba told Mehera and the other women to go for shopping, picnic, and sightseeing. Arnavaz always took them to the films, usually a comedy, which he knew they would enjoy. Afterwards, they narrated the amusing parts to Baba. So is another asterisk.
Oops.
It's on the left side.
Sorry, I hit the wrong button. Oh, there it is, I think. Nope. Oops.
We're getting close.
Yeah, so it's probably this one, right? The women's song.
The women saw 3 pictures during this visit to Bombay, but they only enjoyed one of them, the Bob Hope comedy, Paris Holiday. So, where are we now? Yeah. Once, as the women were about to enter the theater, they were denied admittance because they were 1 ticket short. Arnavaz's relatives were with them, so additional tickets had been purchased. An argument ensued with the ticket vendor until Arnavaz realized that she had forgotten to count herself. An extra ticket was purchased, but one person had to sit separately from the group. Baba and the women shifted to Guru Prasad on 15 March and stayed for 5 months. At first, though Baba was still in pain from the accident, darshan was permitted daily, but from 1st April it was curtailed to Sundays only. Darshan were held in the hall. No one came to our women's side at Guru Prasad, Goher said. In the morning, Baba went to the men mandali where Erich read out the mail. Minu Barucha visited Guru Prasad from Nasik every other Sunday. Baba told him to be there the following Sunday, and he replied, Baba, I'll try. Baba retorted, the word try is not in my dictionary.
It is so. Baba used to say, it's it's um it's super difficult to do such and such, but try anyway. Um,
But here it said the word try is not in my dictionary. During one darshan, a local lover came but did not bring his wife. Baba asked where she was. The man explained that she had not come because she was having her period, considered unclean by some religious groups. So what? Baba said, and he told the man to go and bring her. I am the ocean, Baba explained. You should rush to me when I give the call, wherever you are, as you are.
yeah, I think he said it's very difficult to love those whom you cannot love, but try.
Yeah. Yeah. About being honest, Baba stated, you can fool the whole world, but you cannot fool God. So, yeah, okay, on the side note, Mera and Khorshid accompanied Baba from Guru Prasad and were dropped at Merazad until the registration was finished. So let's see what registration is talking about. On 6 April, Baba was driven to Mehrabad, where the Avatar Meher Baba trust deed was registered. The trust deed made provisions for the financial support of Baba's Mandali after his passing. It also specified how the 11 close women Mandali were to be buried on Mehrabad Hill. On Baba's right, Mera, Naja, Rano, Sunamasi, and Kitty. On Baba's left, Mani, Goher, Meru, Katie, if she remained unmarried, Khorshid, and Mansari. Oh, interesting about that unmarried thing. I didn't know that. So they were all celibate. It had been decided before Baba it had been decided before Baba that all women except for Mera were to be cremated. This decision was taken because 5 or 6 days are required to dig a deep enough hole at Mehrabad, where the ground is so dry and hard. Later, it was decided that they could be buried if they preferred it, if they died before Mera. However, they were to be cremated and their ashes kept aside until Mera's passing. Although Margaret and Elizabeth were not mentioned in the trust deed, Baba said that they too could be buried on Mehrabad Hill if they wished, which both did. In Elizabeth's case in 1965, Baba stated that some of Elizabeth's personal effects should also be buried near Baba's house on Meher Center. No. In Elizabeth's case, Baba said that Elizabeth's personal effects should also be buried near Baba's house on Meher Center with a tombstone. A few months after Elizabeth passed away in December 1980, Elizabeth's houndstooth What's this?
Houndstooth. It's a type of design that's kind of like alternating black and white um, diamonds, kind of. No, a little
Okay.
more jagged. Yeah.
Okay.
A
So
popular design. Yeah.
okay. So in December, Elizabeth's houndstooth overcoat that Baba often wore during the Blue Bus tours was buried in the marked grave between Baba's house and Dilruba. See volume 1, page 466 for a photo of Baba's wearing this coat. So interesting that everyone had to be cremated and they couldn't be buried until Mara was buried. That's interesting.
Yeah, and practical too, because of the ground being so hard. When it doesn't rain, the earth becomes rock-like almost.
Yeah,
Very difficult to dig.
yeah, but they even could not dig a small dig to put the cremating ashes because they had to wait
Uh-huh.
until Mara's passing. That's what it says. If
Uh-huh.
they died before Mara, however, they were to be cremated and their ashes kept aside until Mara's passing.
Mm.
That's interesting. She had to be buried first. Baba had first publicly indicated his wishes in this regard in Satara in 1955. Now these wishes were part of a legal document. Baba also specified that certain of the men were to be buried down the hill at Lower Mehrabad. Now this asterisk goes down under this further down. Yeah. The closer physical proximity to Meher Baba's Samadhi of the women Mandali should not be misconstrued to mean that the women were somehow closer spiritually to Baba. It simply reflects Baba's decade-old practice of keeping the women on top of Mehrabad, off the hill, and the men down below.
Yeah, but also don't you think, I mean, that's something that author added, or David added, but I would think that uh, Mara would be buried next to Baba, and then since she was usually surrounded by women, then there's another reason there too. I think since she was surrounded by women in her lifetime, their ashes were next to her body there. Don't you think?
Uh, that's why they married them on the top of the hill?
Another reason why they were buried on top because uh,
To be surrounded by women. Interesting.
no, but the primary reason is because Mara, um, I mean, I can't imagine her body not being next to Baba's.
Yeah, right.
You
And not to be next to other men. That's true. That's very logical, what you're saying.
know?
So where are we now?
There's extra in the online version that there's not in the book, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Well, yeah.
yeah. Here
I,
indeed was something unprecedented in spiritual history. No other saint, perfect master, or avatar had ever instructed that their close disciples should be buried so near to their own samadhi. As the Avatar Samadhi is the focal point for world pilgrimage in the future, it suggests that these close ones were so totally dedicated to their master as to be worthy of the world's worship in times to come. What roles they played in this universal work, we can only wonder. Kitty once observed, I recall Baba's words that those who consecrated their lives on no, concentrated their lives on him gradually became identified with him in consciousness. Little by little, their humanity is absorbed into his divinity, and they become free. The men and women Mandalis certainly concentrated their lives on Meher Baba. The author's sense is that by the time they died, Baba had emptied them of self and refilled them with himself so fully, so completely, that they were, in effect, extensions of himself. They now represented perfect love, and Baba wanted them near him to remind future generations of their dedication and service. Through their wholehearted devotion to his cause, they had become worthy of taking their place by his side for eternity. Wow, this is so touching. What is
Also,
this? Yeah.
Baba's parents are buried, Shireen and Sherry are on the hill, but there's
And Mara's parents as well. Yeah. And
Mara's mother.
mother, but
Yeah.
also the father is mentioned on the inscription.
Oh, on the
Yeah.
tower, yeah. And then
Not on the tower, on the grave. On the
I
grave
see.
of Mara's mother, her father is also mentioned.
Uh-huh. And also, do you remember seeing a grave for Moti?
I don't, yeah, grave of Moti near the tree, near the banyan tree.
Yeah.
So there's the dogs and Moti, the peacock.
Yeah.
What a testament to their love for their beloved and his love for them. Tears over fasting. I have a picture of Meru and Goher and Rano and Naja and Meras sitting next to Baba, bending her knees next to Baba. It's a beautiful picture in Mara's garden.
Peaceful.
Beautiful. Yeah, amazing. Mara's at October 16, 1959. That's 16 October is New Life Day. With Meru, Goher, Rano, Naja, Mani with Harry Kenmore's Polaroid behind the camera. Another picture of the Mandali women. So there's Mara here, Katie, Naja, Rano, and I don't know the other ladies. So let's see what is written down there.
And
And
a little girl and boy.
two children, yeah, two children. So Piroja Sukadwala, Katie, Mera, Naja, Perin, Rano, Gulnar, Arnavaz. In front, in front, Mernaz and Merwan, the colonel, Sukadwala. So Piroja Sukadwala and her two children.
And is that Marwan? Is that Mara's uncle? The infamous?
No, that's Sukadwala. I don't know who Sukadwala is.
No, but he got reincarnated and met Baba.
No, that's Meta. That's Merwan Meta. And this is Sukadwala.
I see.
Mm. So
The lady on the right, did you retain who that is? I guess it's in front of Rano. Let's see.
so
She
so she is the one holding the child is the lady of the mother of the children.
someone named Gulnar, I guess, huh?
Who's Gulnar? I don't have Gulnar. Gulnar here, yeah. So I think Perina's on the left, right? Right? Does that sound familiar? That name? I don't know. She's not the mother.
So this one would be Perrine. That's Rano there, right? So this one must be Gulnar.
Oh, so Gulnar. Oh, so Sukadwala. Gulnar. Oh, so now I know who they are. So Sukadwala is the Gulnar is the daughter of Beram, Baba's brother. Okay, so Sukadwala is the daughter of Beram. So this is her children, Okay?
Mhm.
So she is actually a nephew. She a nephew? Do you say nephew?
Niece.
Niece. So she's a niece. She's the niece. So her mother is Perrin. Perrin is Behram's wife.
Okay. And
Yeah.
how about the lady on the extreme left? I
Yeah,
forget.
I wonder. So look it up and see. Let's see who else they mention.
Oh, that's Piroja Sukadwala. Huh.
No. That's her. Right, right. So that's the mother of the. She's the in-law. She's the. How do you call the in-law of Gulnar? Can you say that? She is the mother-in-law of Gulnar.
Okay.
Okay. Wow,
Okay.
got that right. Wow.
Well, here's a good play. It's 3:33. We can stop a little early today.
Oh, I enjoy reading it. Really wonderful.
Yeah, so but next week we'll start with chapter 128. Colonel Irani comes to Baba.
Yeah.
I guess that
That's
means
why I thought that little boy was referring, the
Yeah, the
chapter
little.
is referring to
Yeah.
the little colonel.
Well, yeah, Merwan Meta just had a Zoom with Betty, very fresh one, very beautiful. So you can look it up in Baba's Zoom. It just happened last week or something, or two last week, and it's beautiful. He is such a nice person, and he does not belong to the Sukadwala family, which lives in Pune. He belonged to the Sata family from Akbar Press.
let's read on just a little bit more. Do you mind? Um,
Okay. No,
yeah,
you want me to read?
sure, go ahead.
Okay, so 128, Colonel Irani comes to Baba. On Saturday, and don't have high hopes.
Well, this could be his death. It could mean his death.
No, he just came to check on Mira again. So on Saturday, 11 April 1959, Mayor Baba visited a school for the blind in Koregaon Park area of Pune. He later described the visit to the women, saying that one of the children would come to Guru Prasad the following day. He is a very sweet child, but blind, Baba told Mera with a sad expression. After meeting Baba, the boy, a quiet, good-looking lad of 7 or 8, was sent inside to the women's side. Mera, tender-hearted as she was, felt very bad that the child had to go through life without sight. When I touched his cheek, she related, I said Baba's name. She handed the boy a cookie or sweet, and Gohar led him back to Baba. Baba came for lunch, and they spoke about the child. Mera was still feeling sorry for the youngster. Close to tears, she said, Baba, I feel very upset and sad for this child. He is so young. What will happen to him? Don't worry, Baba told her. But how will he get on in his life if difficulties arise? It is so sad. I will see about it, Baba promised, and then he revealed. This child will drop his booty soon. Hmm. He won't live long. At a very young age, he will die, said Mera. I was happy Baba would relieve this child from a blind life. Only Baba has the authority to do that. I felt better, knowing this soul wouldn't have to suffer like this for long. And I was glad that I told Baba about my concern. Wow. Visitors from Pune, Ahmednagar, and Bombay flocked to Guru Prasad to avail of the beloved's darshan. Baba also called the Kalchuris for a few days from Meherabad. On 17 May, he allowed Mansari and Kekopat's family to visit for a few hours. Baidul escorted them to Pune by bus, and they saw Baba at 8:30 a.m. He told them to wash, change their clothes, and have tea. By the time we went to the hall, Mansari remembered, it was completely packed. We had to sit right at the back. Soon Mansari heard Archer's voice calling, Where is Mansari? Where is Mansari? She waved her hand over the heads and shoulders of those in front of her. Baba joked, Mansari, you are already so small, and still you are hiding? After the program, Mansari joined Baba and the other women for lunch. Who cares about music program? I was eager to see Baba. Ice cream was served. Ice cream was served that day by Baba himself. Mansari came before him with her bowl. Baba gave her a scoopful and told her to come again at 12:30 to the men's side, where he would be distributing more. Baba was holding a spoon when she went there. He instructed Mansari to stand directly in front of him and not to pay attention to the 25 or 30 men present. Don't laugh, he cautioned. Open your mouth. I'm going to slip ice cream in your mouth. Yeah, the idea made Mansari giggle. What if it slides down my chin? She thought. She burst out laughing. Baba said, look serious. No, I said not to laugh. Stand up straight. He took a little ice cream in a spoon and with expert aim flipped it into her mouth. Not a drop fell out. Again, he told her to open her mouth. 3 times he did this. Then he clapped and said for her to go. It was the one, yeah, he's a good shot, this guy. He was the one and only time, it was the one and only time Mansari was ever called to Guru Prasad. Baba liked ice cream, Mehra observed. A few people sent it to Guru Prasad in honor of their child's birthday. We had it once in a while. Any flavor would do. Mango ice cream we all loved. Baba also liked chocolate ice cream. Whenever it came, I used to peek in the crack of the door from our quarters to the hall and watch Baba eat ice cream. He looked so sweet. I watched him playing cards also. Occasionally, Baba lovers brought popcorn to Guru Prasad as well. Baba always sent some inside for the women. Baba liked salt taste on popcorn, but discarded, spat out most of it. He liked salted popcorn that came ready-made in a bag. One day, Mera was eating roasted peanuts. Baba saw her and asked whether they were good. She said yes and asked if he wanted some. Baba said, all right. I went to the kitchen and quickly shelled some for him. Very slowly, Baba sucked them. He enjoyed their flavor. Once when Baba was eating popcorn in the hall at Guru Prasad, he looked so natural that Mani brought her movie camera. Baba gave her an exasperated look. Not again, he grimaced. No, Baba, she assured him. There's no there's no film in the camera. I'm just practicing. She spoke the truth, but then quickly turned and stuck a card in a cartridge. Mani took some shots, thinking she had tricked Baba, as he did not say anything. She was taken aback when Baba held up his hand and gestured, enough. How much film are you going to take? He knew all her tricks. So the site note says, on 27 June 1959, while at Guru Prasad, Baba and the women were shown the color film footage of 1958 Myrtle Beach Sahabas taken by Lowell Shaw. Merwan Jiswala showed the film with a small projector. Eugene, we're not going to get to this thing with the uncle because that uncle came to Meherabad, not to Pune. So I don't mind going on reading, but what do you choose?
It's on page 226. I've kind of snuck ahead, but I've read the book several times anyways. But
Yeah, I remember
said,
the instance. Yeah.
he said that it was Merwan Sukhardwala.
Yeah.
And married Mani's niece Gulnar by now. And there's
No,
some
no. Gulnar was married to the father, to Jehangir, something like this. Jehangir Sukhadwala.
Yeah,
That
Jahangir.
Merwan is the child.
Yeah, Merwan
Okay.
was a child. And Well, you can read it, but it does say that he was. Well, you read it. Anyways,
Let, let me take a turn reading too, okay? Because I enjoy
Yeah,
reading. Yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
Baba had been advised to take walks for exercise. Besides walking around the grounds of Guru Prasad, he often visited different parks in Pune, such as Sambhaji Park and Bund Gardens, where he could have a stroll. Occasionally, he even went to a film with the Mandali. At times, when Baba was in the car, he had the car stopped by some gathering, perhaps a cricket match being watched by a crowd. Although Baba could not see the match from the car, he sat quietly for a few minutes, his fingers moving rapidly as he worked, and then told the driver to drive off. Once, Jal took some film footage of Baba's outings. Mehra reminded Mani to direct Jal about taking the film. Jal wasn't very artistic, Mehra commented. Behram did a much better job. It was difficult with Baba. He had to be coaxed. When he held up his hand, signaling that it was now enough, whoops. When he held up his hand, signaling that it was now enough, we said, just half a minute more. The women, too, went for walks in Pune, to films, and for shopping. They had seen Paris Holiday in Bombay, starring Bob Hope, and they persuaded Baba to see it. Baba, you'll love it, Mehera assured him. It's very amusing, and you love Bob Hope. He is so funny in this movie. Mehera tried to tempt him by adding, and you need some relaxation, Baba. Baba agreed to see it. Goher was sent to tell the Mandali, who were happy to be given an excursion. So Baba went to the movie with the men. Baba enjoyed Bob Hope, Mehra continued, but Laurel and Hardy were his favorite. He never liked to miss them. Once, when Baba had gone to the movies with the women, they saw a short film before the main feature about the opening of Disneyland, a new amusement park in America. On one of their outings, the women visited Empress Gardens, where they bought a few plants. The dark purple bougainvillea that bordered the driveway at Guru Prasad was purchased from there. It was like a fountain, said Mehera. The Mali, gardener, cut it short before our arrival. Mehra and the other women also paid a repeat visit to the zoo at Peshwa Park. Baba had taken them there in 1954 when it was new, and he took them again on 30 July 1959. Mehra later suggested that Behram should take Baba's film in the garden at Peshwa Park, through the path of palm trees, which he later did. 2 camels were kept at the park to give children rides. So often, Mani had heard Mehera speak of how she had ridden camels during her father's treks. Mani, too, wanted to ride a camel, at least once in her life. Now was her chance. Mehera said it was all right and stood nearby as Mani went with Meheru for a turn. The camel lumbered slowly around the park, with Mani and Meheru bouncing back and forth. Another evening, when Katie was there, the women asked whether they could return to the zoo at Peshwa Park. Baba gave permission, so Meheru, Goher, and Katie set off around 4:45 p.m. Mani stayed behind that evening. In addition to the camel, 2 elephants were kept at the zoo. One, named Sumitra, whom Baba had fed with his own hands, was harnessed for the children to sit on. Katie had never ridden an elephant and, like Mani, thought this would be a good opportunity. Katie, Mehera, Meheru, some other women, and a few children climbed aboard the massive creature. After a few minutes, however, Katie grew nervous. The beast was getting angry, she thought. Look at its ears, Mehera, she whispered. The hairs on its head are standing up. What if it runs amok? It'll throw us in the ditch or the pond. Stop saying that, Mehera chided. Instead of enjoying the ride, you're frightening me. When they got off, Mehera declared, Katie, I'll never ride an elephant with you again. They bought some peanuts, but Katie was too frightened to feed the animal. While in Pune, Mehera went to the lady dentist she had been seeing since 1952 for her yearly checkup. Baba had accompanied Mehera on her initial visit to the dentist, perhaps because Mehera was nervous. He even watched during the examination. The young dentist, Prabha Deodar, thought Baba was deaf and dumb. Years later, Dr. Deodar came to Guru Prasad once for Baba's darshan. One year, Mehera had to have a molar and a wisdom tooth extracted. Her appointment was at 4:30 p.m. Baba was with the Mandali, and the door to the hall, as usual, was closed. I didn't like going to the dentist, Mehera confided, but I got ready in a skirt and blouse. The car came and she told Goher to inform Baba that she was leaving. Mehera sat in the car with Khorshid and waited for Goher, who was to accompany them. Goher quickly told Baba, Mehera is leaving for the dentist. She's in the car. Though his hip pained and it was still difficult for him to move about, Baba stopped talking with the Mandali, stood, and came onto the veranda. Baba came out, limping so slowly, Mehera recalled. No one was holding his hand to give support. He looked so lovely, standing sweetly on the porch in his white sadra. Baba gestured. Don't worry at all. I am with you. Be brave. Don't worry about the pain. Be happy. Yes, Baba, Mehera responded from the back seat window. When she returned, Baba came to the drawing room and asked about the visit. Mehera concluded, I felt so happy to see Baba come and say that, before I left. He was giving me courage, even from then, to be separated from him. It was so sweet of him. He had so much concern and care. He got up and came out, limping, at a time when it was difficult for him to walk. Still, Baba came. He walked a long way, as the veranda is extensive. He came all alone, very slowly. In my imagination, I see him standing, saying to me, "Be brave, don't worry." It was a message for me, for all times.
Wow.
During their first 2 stays at Guru Prasad, meals for Baba and both Mandalis came from Bindra House. Later, only Baba's, Francis's, and the women Mandalis' meals were prepared there. Naja stayed with the Jessawalas to help prepare Baba's food. The Jessawalas were nervous about doing it, but Naja showed them how Baba liked things. They got up at 4 a.m. to begin cooking. Sidebar says, the men Mandalis' food came from the Edward Hotel near the Pune railway station. After some time, the women's food came from there as well, and only Baba's meals were prepared at Bindra House. In parentheses, Mehera had lived at the Edward Royal Hotel as a child when the small guest house was owned and run by her grandparents.
Yeah, I remember we read about that, remember?
Yeah.
Wow.
Each day, a note was sent to the Jessawalas detailing what Baba wished cooked the following day. Another chit came in the evening saying that he either liked or did not like the food. On the days that Manu anxiously awaited Baba's reaction, the note said that the food was delicious, and Manu felt relieved that Baba had enjoyed what she had cooked. But on other days, when she felt confident that she had done well, she received a long note saying that the food was awful. It was not cooked properly. She had not put in the correct spices and so on. Occasionally, Mehera and the women visited Bindra House, where Rano too was staying. Papa Jessawala felt a bit left out, all alone in his room when we visited the house, Mehera noticed. It was Baba's order that Papa not see us. We would be in the kitchen or dining room, talking, laughing, drinking tea. He was all alone. His son, Meherwan, was at work. Baba, too, sometimes visited Bindra House along with us. In May 1959, Rano contracted gastroenteritis. Her condition became grave, and Baba visited her on the morning of the 29th. Papa, too, complained of chest pains, but the family did not pay much attention to him. Papa's nature was that if something happened, he made a big show of it, said his daughter, Manu. He wanted everyone's attention. So when he was ill, we thought he was making a fuss and didn't take him seriously, as Rano was so ill. Baba returned to Bindra House in the afternoon, along with Mehera, Mani, Meheru, and Goher. The women chatted with Gaimai, Manu, Roshan, and Dun, while Papa went to see Papa. while Baba went to see Papa in his room. He asked Papa how he was. After 15 minutes, Baba told Manu to call Mehera to Papa's room. Manu felt nervous about giving Mehera this message, and sure enough, Mehera assumed Manu must have made a mistake and told her to go back and find out what Baba really wanted. Hesitantly, Manu approached Baba, who wanted to know where Mehera was, and took her to task for not carrying out his order. "Tell Mehera I want her to come," Baba instructed. "Tell her not to worry. I am here." Apprehensively, Manu returned and repeated Baba's message. Mehera was surprised. "Baba wants me in Papa's room?" she wondered. "I was not reluctant," she recalled. "I was shy. But Baba wants me to go, so I didn't hesitate." She came and stood outside the doorway. Papa was seated, but immediately got up. Baba motioned Mehera to greet him. "Sahibji, Sahibji," she said with folded hands. Sahibji is a Parsi greeting of hello. The expression Jai Baba had not yet become widely used. Papa reverently folded his hands and said Sahibji back. Baba said, "Enough." Mehera again said Sahibji twice and left. Papa was thrilled that he had been allowed to meet Mehera, who he knew was not ordinarily permitted to talk to men. He was elated by the very special privilege, proud of the honor that had been bestowed on him. After Baba and the women left, he told his family, "You all think Baba loves you so much, but he let me meet Mehera. No man ever talks to Mehera, but I did. She spoke to me. See how much Baba loves me? I told you that he loves me more than you. You all make such a big show of your devotion to Baba, while I quietly, silently love him. So Baba gave me this privilege." That night, at the age of 74, Papa had a heart attack and passed away. Another near and dear one died a month later in July. Kumar's eldest son was working near Pune. He came to see Baba at Guru Prasad, but had a fever and had to be rushed to the hospital. He had leukemia and passed away on Silence Day. Kumar was staying with Baba, but his wife, Subhadra, was called from Dehradun without being told the reason. Baba had Erish gently break the news to her of her son's death. And
I got to
then,
take a call. I'm sorry.
no problem. And then Baba too consoled her. The sidebar says Manu recalled this incident happening earlier in the month when Baba and the women came to Bindra House to celebrate her birthday. So Baba had Erich gently break the news to her of her son's death, and then Baba too consoled her. He instructed her to repeat these words to him aloud. "You," in parentheses, "Baba, are my son." Subhadra remembered. Baba looked looked something extraordinary that day. Mehera was nearby and encouraged Subhadra to repeat what Baba said. Say it out loud, she urged. Subhadra stood transfixed and, in her grief, only managed to form the words after some minutes. It was the only time Subhadra was permitted to stay in Guru Prasad.
Oh, really?
At the end of July, the women were instructed to fast in turns. Mehera began fasting on 29 July, and the next day, Mani. On 5 August, Baba sent Mehera to Babajan's tomb, along with Mani and Kaikobad, instructing her to pray that Baba break his silence at the end of October. In the car, Mehera remained shielded from Kaikobad behind a curtain. Baba and all returned to Meherazad 3 days later, on Saturday, 8 August. Baba started out in the Mandali's car and stopped at Bund Gardens, where a few of his Pune lovers were waiting to bid him farewell. The women's car had gone ahead and waited on the opposite side. Mehera and the others watched through binoculars as Baba met his lovers. After crossing the Bund Garden Bridge, Baba switched cars and rode with Mehera and the women to Meherazad. On 13 August, a day before beginning a crucial period of his work, Baba told the women, now there will be an intense scuffle between Maya and me. I will beat it in such a way that it will not be able to raise its head. There will be victory. I will suffer a lot in the process, but it will be done. Oh, I read that too soon. Back home on 12 August, Baba again spoke about the breaking of his silence. He told the women, when I speak, the world will become a very majani, in parentheses, nice or better place, close parentheses. Quite a different kind of majani.
Mm.
Mani asked, will we be there to enjoy it? Baba hesitated to reply, so Mani continued, will we be there to see and experience it? Yes, of course, Baba said. After I speak a few words, immediately everyone will die, but the change will be phenomenal, just like switching off a light makes the darkness more intense. And that's where that sidebar.
What's that? What does that mean? We will be there.
Well, it might mean our reincarnations. Mani's reincarnations will be there.
So everyone will die when he speaks. That's what he says.
That's what it says, yeah.
After the change will be phenomenal.
So just to repeat, the sidebar says on 13 August, a day before beginning a crucial period of his work, Baba told the women, now there will be an intense scuffle between Maya and me. I will beat it in such a way that it will not be able to raise its head. There will be victory, and I will suffer a lot in the process, but it will be done. After returning from Pune, Baba was able to come and go from Mandali Hall alone. So his hip must have felt quite a bit better. As Mehera wrote to Beryl on 27 August, sometimes Baba likes to give us a surprise, too. For example, we were at lunch one afternoon when suddenly we were startled with happy surprise to see Beloved appear in the doorway from the kitchen, all alone and wearing a sun hat. He looked very sweet and had a naughty twinkle in his eyes. In 1959, a Bombay lover named Kishan Chand Gajwani gifted to Baba a high-back upholstered chair, which was placed in Mandali Hall. A cushion for Baba's feet was then made to order by Gohar from cotton purchased in the bazaar. Regarding the furniture inside the house, Meheru said, the Rexine set Sarosh sent on his own in the 60s, we placed in the sitting room in place of the old set, whose springs were in need of repair. The two single original sofas are still in use, but the double-seater was beyond repair. And search me what a Rexine set is.
Yeah.
Mehera and the other women were occasionally called into Mandali Hall for musical performances, or whenever Baba had some special work to accomplish. He called them on 28 August, for instance, when he had 5 various prayers recited. Kaikobad prayed, O God, allow the men and women Mandali to prove helpful to beloved Baba in his work. See that none gives any cause to disturb Baba's mood. Allow the work Baba wishes to complete by the end of October to be completed 100% successfully, and also see that Baba's health does not suffer.
You skipped on the side note in the top.
Ah, thank you. The red chair Baba had been using previously in Mandali Hall was kept on the veranda of the house. Baba may have also sat in the upholstered armchair, which Mehera used on the veranda, but she did not recall seeing him in it. So let me just repeat. Allow the work Baba wishes to complete by the end of October to be completed 100% successfully, and also see that Baba's health does not suffer. At such times, a curtain was hung in the middle of the hall, separating the men and women, and chairs placed at the back for the women. That day, Alaba performed an amusing skit as a seller of gram, which Baba permitted the women to watch. The women were called inside again on 6 September when Alaba dressed up as Adolf Hitler. This time he had borrowed a police uniform from Ahmednagar and amused Baba and the Mandalay with his energetic imitation of the Führer. Whenever Baba wished to call Alaba, he signed for him by waving his hand above his head, mimicking the tassels of a fez cap, since Alaba was a Muslim. Once, when Mani was walking out of Mandali Hall carrying some photos of Baba he had touched at her request, Baba began gesturing something she could not follow. Baba told Alaba to say it aloud. Alaba said, Allahu Akbar, God is great. Baba had him repeat this declaration 3 times. Said Mani, that was all. Just suddenly, entirely out of context or reference to anything, Baba had Alaba repeat, Allahu Akbar. Harry Kenmore was permitted to visit India for a few months and arrived on 1 September. He brought gifts for Baba and the Mandali, including a wind-up electric shaver for Kaka. That's unusual. A wind-up electric. Two new items Kenmore brought were a Polaroid camera and a tape recorder. He recorded himself reciting the Master's prayer and the prayer of repentance, and then played it for Baba, who remarked, You are blessed. God has heard your repentance prayer.
Wow.
Baba, who is God, has heard for the first time the prayer on your tape recorder also.
Mm.
Naja was especially busy whenever Kenmore stayed at Meherazad, as she had to prepare 3 different menus. Plain, unseasoned fare for Kenmore and Francis, rice and dal for Baba, and the women's usual spicy vegetable, chapatis and dal. Didn't Baba also like his rice and dal extremely hot and spicy?
Yeah, he likes spicy, but maybe rice and dal for Baba, but separately. But
Yeah,
separately,
maybe.
his food was cooked separately. Here,
Hmm.
the men Mandali's food was cooked separately by.
Maybe
Although
because of his health, he was eating something that he didn't necessarily like. There,
possibly, because
like a lot of.
spiciness can give the acid reflux.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I said earlier that didn't it say earlier that Baba was having
Yeah,
heartburn.
they were
That's why.
afraid of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although the Mandalay were kept on a vegetarian diet, sometimes Dowlet Lodge, a restaurant near Kushu quarters, sent a beef or mutton dish for Kenmore. The men Mandalese food was cooked separately by their servant. Mehera had been ordered not to partake in any kitchen work, but she sometimes went into the kitchen, and seeing the amount of work in those days, felt like pitching in by cutting or peeling vegetables. Meheru admired this quality. Mehera was so simple in her ways. She never acted like she was something. She never took advantage of her position. She would want to help, to do things the servants could do. One day at lunch, Mehera asked Baba whether she should help Naja in the kitchen. Baba looked at her and shook his head no. What about helping in cooking your food, Baba? He looked at her for 1 second and again said no. Mehera never asked again. She speculated on why Baba did not permit her to help. Baba told me not to help in the kitchen, not even to help in his food, because he knew the future. Baba knew I should be free later on to talk to his lovers. All of you would be coming, and if I had to work in the kitchen, half my mind would be in the kitchen when I was talking to you. She added, Anyway, I don't care for cooking much.
Mm.
One thing Mehera did do was to show the servants how to make good chapatis. When I was a child, my grandmother used to call me and my sister as we were on the way to school in the morning to come and see how the chapatis were made. It came in useful, as I taught the servants here how to make wheat chapatis nicely. Otherwise, they only knew how to make bakris, millet chapatis.
Mhm.
Bakris are pretty tasty, though, actually.
The
Oh,
buck,
cool.
yeah, the buck
Yeah.
is very tasty.
Yeah, and even Baba thought so on in the New Life when they got some fresh bakris
Mhm.
from
Hmm.
a villager.
Yeah.
During his stay, Kenmore kept Baba entertained with his witty, lively nature. He often told Baba jokes, some off color. Here's an example of a joke that Harry told Baba. An Irishman was dying, and his best friend was sitting beside him weeping. The dying man said to his friend, I know you're me best mate. Will you do just one thing for me when I die? Sure, and I'd do anything for you, Mike, the friend sobbed. Will you take a bottle of the finest whiskey and pour it over me grave for me? Course and I will, Mike, he said. Then he leaned forward and asked, But do ye mind if I pass it through me first?
You read that beautifully. Thank you.
Thank you. Harry Didolchow, 32, was permitted to meet Baba on 7 September. Baba was in an upbeat mood that day. There is a shortage of water here, Baba told him. Still, Mehera tries to see that it remains green. She received the books on gardening and other things sent by you from America. Baba continued, You will now meet Harry Kenmore, who is at present busy in the work given by me to him. After finishing the work, he will meet you. He got the opportunity to talk to Mehera a little. For a long time, Mehera was ordered by me not to come before men. Harry got the opportunity to talk to her, but he is blind and therefore could not see her. Mehera is very dear to me. She loves me the most. Today I will permit you to go before her,
Mm.
which so far I have given to none except Kenmore. Baba himself led Didal through the garden to meet Mehera briefly. Mehera folded her hands and I folded mine, Didol later related. Nothing was said. When I looked at Mehera's eyes, I saw tremendous beauty, huge black eyes, very large. Baba put his right hand on my left shoulder. I think he was trying to prevent me from passing out. In Mandali Hall, Baba presented Didal Chow with the scarf Mehera had given Baba to wear that day.
Wow.
Do you think that Mara's eyes were black?
No, I don't remember her eyes as black, but he looked at her eyes, and I'm not sure I looked directly at her eyes.
Yeah.
At times, Baba brought the mandali to his house, where phonograph records were played in the living room. Mehera, of course, retreated to her room and shut the door whenever the mandali were in the house. Kenmore had been busy with his tape recorder and had taped Francis reading from his new book, Stay with God. Baba gave Mehera a signed copy of the book. Mehera never read the book, but Baba had a few passages read aloud to her and the women. On
Aha.
16,
I read, it must have been in the book Mehera, that Mehera said to Baba, well, when is there time to read God Speaks? And he said, never mind, you need to read it.
But
And
this is Stay with God. This is not God Speaks. This is Francis's book.
what? I'm so sorry. I guess I sorry.
No, because I think that, you see, why did he let Dedulcho see her? Because he had a direct exchange with her when he gave her the books, when he sent the books of the garden. And Baba said, don't ever send any more presents to her, because that is the way he kept her so pure, that no man would give her things, so she would have to return a favor. And that's why I think he let Dedulcho. So here he's giving her the book, but she's not reading it because it's a man's book. So she's not reading, but Baba gave her as a token the book, and he also read passages. So when he read passages to her, it's different. But how did he read passages to her? No, he didn't.
Had a few passages read aloud to her.
Yeah.
on
Thank you.
On 16 September, Baba told Kenmore, now I will take you to Mehera. Take your tape recorder with you and play for her what you taped of Francis yesterday. Mehera will be pleased to hear it. Harry played the tape for Mehera and thus had the opportunity of meeting her again. After Mehera left the room, the Mandali came inside to listen to music. So maybe we should stop here.
That is this book is so amazing. Wow.
Yeah, and the title of this chapter is Colonel Irani Comes to Baba. So Mikal, I think I'm gonna make a bet with you of 10 shekels that that it means that Colonel Irani is gonna croak.
No, he's not going to croak. What happened to him is he wanted to come and see that everything is okay with Mera and his mother. So he allowed him to come to Mehrabad and see his work in Mehrabad, because he kept saying that Baba is this, and he kept saying bad things about Baba, and that he was fraud, taking money and all that. So this time he wanted to see his work, and he came. Am I right? That
That was back a long time ago when he came to see. The last time he came to Mehrabad was when Mera and Talatmai were making food, and they had like their old cotton saris on, and they had like dolls slopped on their sleeves, and he was horrified to see them working and not dressed in the finest silk.
But now when he comes, what happened? Maybe you are right. Eugene. Maybe he is on the way out. So you read this. So what is the next time that he comes? What I remember is he took him on a tour in Mehrabad, and I don't even remember if he saw Mera, and her mother was not there anyway. At that time, her mother, her mother either that,
a drink of water, and Baba said, no water from my well or something.
Well, next week we'll read on and we'll see if you owe me 10 shekels or not.
I didn't say I'm going on a bet with you, because
That's true. Okay.
I sent the money to you.
Okay. Well, that was a lot of fun, ladies.
It was wonderful. This book is